How does that robot song go, the bad one? No, the bad one.
Yeah.
You sound too nice.
La 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 la.
Da 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 da. Hi there, everybody. All my friends, and Anne's friends too. You're friends with them as well.
Yes.
Today, we have a very intriguing question. VIVY, fluoride song? Who knows what the hell that means? Is it a masterpiece? I've been tossing and toiling and wondering about this. Is it a masterpiece? VIVY is a 13-episode original anime, meaning it wasn't adapted from anything. It was created in part by the creator of Re:Zero, which is interesting because Re:Zero is about going back in time to change a bad future. And VIVY is about going back in time to change a bad future. I think this guy happens to like this concept. And if you could, you're very good at this. Can you give us a brief synopsis of VIVY fluoride song?
We start in the present and realize fairly quickly that we're rewinding in the past. And we get introduced to VIVY, aka Diva. And she is an AI living in an AI and human world.
Okay, well, I have to interrupt you.
No.
At the beginning, you missed over this, we see the world being destroyed.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Okay, that happens in the beginning. So rewind, and we're presented with VIVY, aka Diva, the singer. It's her mission to make people happy through her singing. And she gets introduced to who later becomes her partner in crime, Matsumoto. And he proceeds to tell her that 100 years in the future is when the world is destroyed by the AIs, humans are killed. And so he is there because they have to change certain parts of history in order for that not to happen.
本当にあなたは未来から来たんですか？
本当です。あなたにはこれを防いでもらいたいんですよ。
The one thing that I loved about this show is every episode, you started fresh. You as a viewer didn't know what was going on. And then you were left to say, what the hell is going on? And then eventually the episode reveals, oh, okay, we're 15 years in the future, and this has happened, and that has happened. And I can give you an example of this within an episode. In the early episodes, we see VIVY just completed her mission, and then all of a sudden, she's getting beat up by the square robot, and we're like, well, why is that happening? And then all of a sudden, you see the plane going down in the sky, and the little girl, and she wants to help.
僕はあなたの個人的な演算を認めるわけにはいかないんですよ。
So the way that the story is told is masterful. I mean, this is excellent writing. From episode to episode, you had no clue what was happening next or what could happen next.
彼女を止めろ K5!
I loved her character. I especially loved the moments where she finally started owning her mission and her part in saving the world instead of resisting it so much. I especially loved the moment where she took on the name VIVY to have a whole new meaning.
Instead of Diva.
Which is the singer part of her personality. And I just love how she's asking all along the question of how does one, because she's an AI, like connect to their heart?
That really was the central question for her the entire 100 years in the entire series.
Yeah, and then I love when there's that decisive moment where she's collapsed and the world has come to an end basically, and she feels like she's failed. And Matsumoto says, you get to choose. You've been asking other people. You decide for yourself what that statement means. And she again kind of takes control and realizes, I know what I have to do.
Within this science fiction future world, one thing I was very impressed by were the details of the world that was set up and the evolution through time. A really good example of this is there's a chase scene and we see a car. On the ceiling of the car, we see like a digital like star projection or something. And it's like, oh wow, like that's a really cool tiny detail that just shows how well thought out this futuristic world is. And I was very impressed by that.
I love Diva's look, honestly. That's actually why I wear blue today, is because I love her blue hair.
The animation, the way the show looks, it's freaking beautiful. I think some of the best looking anime are the ones that make you forget that you're watching a cartoon. And when you watch the show, it almost like it goes past you and you're like, oh, this is just like I'm just watching people. An anime that you can show to a normie and they would still enjoy it, I think that's the sign of an anime that, let's say, ascends the medium. I could be talking out of my ass here, but it makes sense in my head. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
The answer to the question, is VIVY a masterpiece? What do you say?
I think it's brilliantly done. I guess the word masterpiece takes on a whole new level to me. I mean, I loved it for so many reasons. So I definitely give it a 10 out of 10 for sure. But I don't know if I'd call it a masterpiece
You're gonna
necessarily.
say no? I thought for sure you would say yes.
That means it's like, oh my god, the best thing of all time. And while I absolutely loved it and highly recommend it, I don't know that I'd say that.
Oh, wow. Well, I think you're onto something here, and I think the word masterpiece, we really need to hone down what it means, because I've been like, oh, is it a masterpiece? And so a masterpiece, I guess, would mean all-time great, right?
Mm-hmm.
It would. So what is a masterpiece? Look at my wall. I think Weathering with You is a masterpiece. Would you say?
Probably.
Wow. All right, what of anything in any medium is a masterpiece to you?
It's something that I never forget. It's something that has a powerful impact on me, mentally and emotionally.
Okay, but give an example of something.
I think, yeah, it evokes an array of emotions in me, like, well, I mean...
I'm asking for a specific example.
I understand. Thank you for your patience. I think, I mean, most people think this who have seen it or heard it, but I think Hamilton's a masterpiece because, just ignore him. Because the lyrics are just incredible. They blow your mind. There's nothing that you can compare to that.
Anne says Hamilton is a masterpiece. I would say Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is a masterpiece. Laugh if you want, but that's my freaking favorite game ever. It's like playing an anime. We did just finish watching it, so this could change for me. But I say it is a masterpiece because I could not think of a single thing I didn't like about it. The only thing I could say is perhaps there was a lack of relationships between characters. You really only had Matsumoto and VIVY, and that's it. There were no other supporting characters to have a memorable, so there's no memorable cast really other than those two.
I'm actually going to disagree with you. I think that relationships end up being the central focus because, as you'll see, when she knows she's about to die and she's truly singing from the heart what she believes to be her heart center for the first time, you see those projections behind her of all the moments in her life, and they're all to do with a relationship, relating to someone else in her past, and singing for them, singing from the heart. That's the part that made me cry, by the way. I found it very, very powerful.
She was beautiful.
Because she made these deep connections in a very short period of time. She made these deep connections in a very short period of time.
But what I'm saying is that because each arc basically was usually 2 episodes and then a time skip, 2 episodes time skip, we didn't get a lot of time with those relationships.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying is the show lacked that. It's not even a negative, it's just something that it didn't really feature that would have made it memorable. Because when you think of, let's say, ReZero, you think of Subaru and Brem, of course, or Emilia, whatever your flavor is. Will it be remembered years from now? Maybe. We'll have to see. But it was just perfect. I could not find anything wrong with it. So for that reason, I said, Greg, it is a masterpiece. It made you cry. It's touching hearts. It didn't blow the ending like so many anime and mangas do. So I have to say it's a masterpiece.
I loved the music as well. That was really special.
The soundtrack was great.
I couldn't get it out of my head. The song that she produces at the end is extremely powerful, like the flowiness of it.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So good.
Beautiful. Greg says yes, masterpiece, and says no, but it is great. So what do you think? Is it a masterpiece? What is a masterpiece? Name one thing that's a masterpiece. Anything. That would be a good video. Maybe we should just list our masterpieces. Maybe it's something we'll do. But all right. Thank you so much for being here.
Like and subscribe, please.
And we'll see you next time.